Hey, it's Blockchain Bernie here, broadcasting from sunny California. This video is about proof of history. Doesn't that sound intimidating? You know, we already have proof of stake and proof of work, right? And so many people struggle with understanding that because it goes down to the deep layers of technology. We have proof of history and we have even proof of space-time that's going out there that it sounds even more intimidating, right? What is proof of history? It's an innovation of Solana, invented by the Solana founder, Anatoly Yakovenko. He wrote the original white paper about Solana and about proof of history. So what it's all about is getting a more performant blockchain. And blockchain has to be performant to change the world. We need mass adoption, right? If blockchain is going to do the good to society and to humanity as it's designed to be by Satoshi, it needs to be mass adopted. Without mass adoption, it's not going to impact society. So we need that performance. And then Anatoly Yakovenko, he thought about how can we make this stuff more performant. And he had been working in distributed systems for a long time, mostly at Qualcomm right here in San Diego. And he figured out that the most time wasted in current blockchains and especially smart contract blockchains is getting all their clocks synchronized, right? We have lots of validators, and in the end, we want to have thousands of validators in order to have some real decentralization, in order to have some real censorship resistance and all these things, right? We don't want to build a blockchain with like 30 validators, right? So we want one with thousands of validators and think about them all synchronizing and getting a common understanding of clock and a common understanding of what comes first and what comes after what, right? Which is important, obviously. If you think about, transfer of value, you need to know what happened first, right? So, and he figured out, well, there's that concept of hashing in IT, right? So a hash function is basically you take some data and then you kind of mingle it in some way and you get another piece of data, usually shorter, right? And then you do it in a way that, it would create a crazy amount of computation to take that hash, that kind of digest of the data and figure out what the original data was, right? So these hash functions have been out there for a long time, and they are also a key concept in Bitcoin, right? So we have proof of work, and there we need to do that reverse thing, right? So Bitcoin gives you a given hash, and it says it needs to end with this many zeros or so. And then you have to figure out some, source pieces of data that resolve to this hash that it should be, right? So, and that's all the wonders of cryptography, that it's really difficult and there's no shortcut to, go from a hash to the actual data that hashed into it, right? That's all math, and it's fun reading. If you want to learn about that, I can highly recommend it. But with proof of history, right? Anatoly thought, hey, we have that hashing, right? And if we take a piece of data, then hash it, and then take the hash and hash it again, and if then a transaction happens, use that data of the transaction and concatenate it with the hash that we have at that point in time, and then hash that larger piece of data, and then have another hash, and if there's another transaction, put the data in there, kind of weave it in that chain of hashes, and then hash it again. That basically gives you a proof of history, because we cannot reverse engineer those hashes, right? So the steps that are before that, they must have happened before that, just because these hash functions are mathematically irreversible, right? And then he figured out, if we do that, we don't need to synchronize thousands of validators, because that blockchain, right, that hash chain of hashes is there and it speaks for itself without communication to anyone, right? So he has that metaphor where he says, if you're on a lonely island and a bottle washes on the shore, and you open the bottle and there's a USB stick in there, right, with a Solana ledger, right? You could verify that, right? You don't need the other validators to constantly talk to, just to synchronize your clock, just to have a consensus of in what order which event happened, right? You can read it from that hash chain itself. And that is a huge innovation. It's just fantastic because it speeds up the blockchain so much, right? And the thing is, it can be verified way faster than it's being created. And that's also important, right? Because, we need to verify all those things, and, everything we do on blockchain needs to be replayed and then validated by those validators. So we need to verify, be able to verify and validate it faster than we create it. And the thing is, in order to create it, we can only use one core, right? Because one hash depends on the other, so we can only do it one step after the other. But in order to validate it, we can use as many cores as we have. So we can validate it way faster than we created it, which is, just what we need to have in that blockchain. And it is such a cool innovation. I don't know why so few other blockchains haven't picked up on that. And it just gives great performance without sacrifice on centralization, and without without the need to create layer twos, or without the need to create sharding, all of which have, their drawbacks. So that's proof of history as a small, appetizer. And obviously, if you want to know more of it, there's a few links down there in the description. And thanks for watching. Please like this video if you want more content like this. Subscribe to my channel. In this channel, I will mostly be talking about the log of Bitoku and the making of Bitoku, but occasionally I just have some general blockchain education as this one. If you want more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and catch you later.